So where in the past what the husband said went, they had to follow, they had to do. But then too, with them making their own money, their own salary, but nothing go when they want to go, you know. Then they was telling him, said, look, you don't own me, you know. You can keep your money because I got my own.
As far as a husband in a marriage, what were your needs and expectations from your wife, my mother? Or a wife, just keep it, yeah, I know. What were your expectations in general, right? What were your needs and your expectations from a wife in general? Speaking from the generation.
I didn't have any expectations when I was married. I enjoyed the relationship with your mother, and I took your mother to many of the places that I took you. And I was quite happy and quite satisfied. But obviously, or apparently, she didn't have the same expectations that I did. And like I said, I married Brooke fine for the first 7 years. And then after the 7 years, in fact, we were together 7.5 years, 7 years, 6 months. But the last year and a half of our marriage, she got upset. She wasn't completely satisfied. And so our relationship started frailing after that.
Just jump to look at our parents' and grandparents' marriages versus what we're witnessing today. What have you noticed between the difference between the marriages today in comparison to the marriages of your parents and grandparents? What have you noticed? What's in that difference?
During the Second World War, when the wives were expected to stay home, like I said, to take care of house and family, and they were dependent upon the salaries or budgets that their husbands were given at the time. Because they had to stay home, had to wait for him, and they could only go shopping with the money that the husband would give them. But during the Second World War, that came to a halt. Because then women were allowed to go out to work. At that time they had to work in factories. They had to build airplanes, had to build tanks, had to build weapons like rifles and whatnot.
These are women doing this.
These are women doing that. Okay. And so they got to enjoy a salary, making their own money. And in some cases, they were bringing home as much, sometimes as more, as the husbands. So where in the past what the husband said went, they had to follow, they had to do. But then too, with them making their own money, their own salary, but nothing go when they want to go, you know. Then they was telling him, said, look, you don't own me, you know. You can keep your money because I got my own. So that started the friction in the marriages at that time. Then women at that time, few of them, not a whole lot of them, a few of them, weren't as educated as the men or their husbands were. So they start going to school, start working in factories, they're going to school, say like at night. In short, they just start going to school, start getting educated. So they knew as much as their husbands, in some cases, if not more. So that generated an attitude of less respect for the husbands. because they wasn't taking what he said anymore. They had their own minds. They were thinking and had their own plans and doing their own shopping and going their own places, traveling more, hooking up with their friends, getting closer with their friends. Friends was in the same particular that they were. And they start talking. Women talk, you know. I advise every man, especially the brothers, you know, to be cautious and to be careful, because, like I say, women talk. And once they do, you know, they bring up everything. And they talk about everything. And what most women, not all women, but most women knows more about most men than most men know about themselves. And I don't think I know. This prevailing attitude, I don't think it's sunk into a lot of men yet, but not enough men yet. So when it does sink in, they can adjust their attitudes and their thinking about how they have to treat their women, how to treat their girlfriends and lady friends and whatnot. Because like I say, when they watch, women, they watch everything that a man does. They listen to everything a man says. And they log it upstairs in their human data bank. They keep it up there. And then they have conferences on us. Women do. Okay? Remember that picture we saw, Jungle Fever?
Yeah.
With Wesley Snipes?
It's not a question of responsibility, it's just a fundamental disrespect.
Yes, it is.
For women.
God, I mean, I don't care. The best man.
tired.
It's hard for him to say no. Some pussy stand him in the face. I'm sorry. I don't know the man that's been born that's gonna say no to. Here, look around here. Ain't nobody looking. He gonna fuck the pussy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
If you're in a committed relationship, then you are supposed to be able to say no. It's the art of no theory for me. Okay? If you know that you're involved with this person, you have no business. And I know that there's such thing as, I mean, you're gonna get turned on and all that. You're gonna see somebody you wanna fuck, but your mind's supposed to tell you, I have a committed relationship here.
right.
I have a wife. I have whatever. And
That's
tell the
right.
dick to shut the fuck up. Tell the dick
That's
to
right,
get down.
girl.
Strap that motherfucker down.
That's a good example.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And they get fed up with the men that throw shit outside. You can't get back up in here. And you go back to your job and start jiggling with that little white girl you having over there. But you're not coming back from here.
Take it. Take all this stuff. You just take it. Take this. Take everything. Leave this stuff alone. You gotta take all this stuff. Take them papers. Take them blueprints. Take that boy. Take them clothes. Take one home. Y'all can take it. Give me that. I don't want it in my house. Get it out of here.
Hey, give me that back. Hey, Drew, what did I do?
Don't you get it back there. Cyrus, don't you get it.
What did I do?
You take it. You take the shit.
Give me that.
You see who I'm talking to.
Put that back.
Take
Drew,
it.
Drew,
I don't want it in
Drew,
my house.
why you throwing my papers out the
I
window?
don't want it.
Drew,
Y'all can
what
take
did
it.
I do? Just tell me what I did.
You're a liar and a bastard.
A what? What did I do?
Bastard and a liar, you fuckhead.
What is she talking about?
Tip to Angie.
Oh, the refrigerator. Wait a minute. Well, okay. Drew, listen. Give me that back. Hey, mommy. Oh. Look, I can explain.
Explain to fucking white bitch, your fucking motherfucker.
Spirit, take me upstairs to your apartment. Take her up to your apartment.
Don't talk to her. That's my friend. You shut
That's
the fuck
my
up.
wife.
Don't talk to her.
Hey, Drew, what are you
Don't
doing?
listen to him.
Do we have to discuss this
fucker, you
out here in
liar.
front of all of
You.
them? Why do we have to discuss this out here in front of
We
all
don't
of
have
them?
shit to discuss. Discuss that.
Listen,
You tired of shit.
I wanted to work out of the office. What I'm going to do at the
Stupid
business?
Oh, fuck your fucking business.
Use the house as my office.
Oh, fuck you. Well, you better get a new house then, hey, asshole. Get out of here. Get out.
Look, baby.
Flipper Purify. There will be no penis between us. Asshole.
We can talk this out.
He is downstairs on the sidewalk pleading. Then it was too late. Then shit, she got fed up. So in that sense, what I'm saying, with the new women's liberation. That's the first phrase that came out, women's liberation. And now you got this Me Too movement with the women. And what I tell brothers, tell men, you know, you want to talk to them because they're going to talk anyway. You want to talk to them, but you want to have a nice conversation or a discussion. As long as it's held as a conversation level, and a discussion level, it can be informative and educational. But most women are not going to leave it at that level. Because after the conversation and discussion they have, they want to go into an argument. Okay? And they want to go into an argument because they know most men can't argue with them. They are expert arguments. Okay? They're good at it. In fact, they're damn good at it. Why? Because they argue with each other.
Yeah, a lot of practice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when they get up to a man, to a conversation, or they see with a man, and he start coming out of his mouth, he don't know what he's talking about, they're all on his ass. But that's because the brother himself, and what I suggest the men to do and the brothers to do, number one, do like they do to us. You know, watch what they do. You know? Listen to what they say. And then you log it up here too, in your human database. Because the saying is, behind every good man there's a good woman.
I've heard that.
And that's because they are sometimes more or less evenly matched in attitude. More or less evenly matched in attitude. She knows him, she knows her man. Yeah, no, she don't know him. She knows her man, you know. But the man don't know his wife as well as his wife knows her. Or the boyfriend don't know his girlfriend as well as his girlfriend knows him. And he forgets the thing that we courting a girl, when he coaching a girl or courting a girl, you know, that well, he thinks he's chasing her. She's the one that's chasing him. You see? Because she has watched him. Like I said, they watch everything they do. And if they have a prospective male in mind who they like to hook up with, they'd be around him. They circulate him. They'll be on the outside away from him so he can't see him, but they'll be watching him. And you'll notice, or they will notice that sometimes they show up at the most opportune time. Where did she come from? Where was she? I didn't see her before. That's because she was following him, chasing him, but being cool. And most of them are intelligent. Most women are intelligent. Okay? So you want to take that into account. Sit down with them. Even board, even steel. Be straight with them. Don't beat around the bush with them. Because most of the time, especially when they become women, past 21, like in their 30s and 40s, whatnot, they've been around that block 3 or 4 times. So you're not going to pull anything over on them. Because they know where you're coming from. They know where you're coming from before you know where you're coming from. Before you know where you're coming from. So that's what I advise most men and whatnot. You know, just be careful, be cautious, you know, and above all, treat them with respect. That's one of the major complaints. You know, you don't respect me. And so if you don't respect me, when they watch, I respect you. And that's what causes the arguments sometimes.
There's this thing going around now called MGTOW. And MGTOW is called Men Going Their Own Way. And you know, you have a couple of and then there's what's called red pill and blue pill. And red pill is the awakening of the women today, as opposed to the blue pill and men being trained that how women are supposed to be, or this image that women are. So with that, I'm just going to leave that definition, which we'll pick it up when we continue the discussion. But today's women is different than the women of my mom's generation, your generation, my mom's generation and grandparents. And you brought out some very good points in regards to World War II, and I'm getting into the workforce. But today's women, from what I hear with the MGTOW going their own way and the red pill, is women are very, very sneaky. And the red pill is talking about how all women have this need for attention, right? And how women cheat just as much as men. I say it's balanced. Women don't cheat more than men, and men don't cheat more than women. It's human nature, but the fact of the matter is everyone cheats, right? So that's the premise with that. But they're just sneaky in how they do it. And also, the blue pill in particular talks about how men have been raised to do the right thing regarding women. That means court them, take them out to dinner, be that gentleman. We've been trained to be that gentleman. I know I'm aware of the time to be that gentleman. And now today's women sees that as being a wimp and a sucker. And you can tell it's valid because growing up in high school, it seemed, it's very complex, gotta get more into it, but the cute women always wanted the bad boy, always wanted that, rough guy, whatever, because that person was exciting. And they would court that rough guy for all those years, but the good guy, the nerd guy, the guy that will treat them respectfully, will always get the end of the stick, don't get the attention, don't get the, chance, anything like that, until that roughneck bad boy would have him, turns him out, gets him pregnant. They call it reaching the wall. When the girl hits the wall, that means when her face, look, body, and all that drops and diminishes. Now at that point, they want that nice guy, the blue guy, whatever. When you gave your best to that roughneck who did not respect you. So when you talk about, we'll pick this up, and I know I gotta wrap it up. But when you say women respect the women, it's these blue pill guys who is doing everything right, that they've been trained to respect the woman, and in return that woman is disrespecting them. I mean, stepping over them, being nice to them, playing them on with the carrot while they're out there gallivanting with that roughneck, whatever the case would be, cheating on men. And how women had it before they leave the current relationship, then they make sure they got their hooks into the next relationship, and tie it in that way.
I say, Monica, no be today. Me and you done the fight, don't they? I no go pursue man, I go change my ways. I go reduce the banana, I no go do it again. If you leave me,